general public? Well, hopefully we can get the answers to those questions. My guest is a cybersecurity expert. He is Akusu, A.S.A. Caleb, and he is with Webcabs Technologies. Thank you, Caleb, for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it is a pleasure. How do you pronounce your name? Akusu?
Akusu, yes.
Akusu.
Akusu.
Okay. Does it have a meaning?
It does.
Okay. With the hesitation, it seems you don't know the meaning. All right, Mr. Caleb, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's a crazy situation. I'm glad that in this case, the suspect was apprehended. The investigation is ongoing. I'm hoping that they can, of course, return the money to the owner.
Yeah.
But some people are not as fortunate.
Yeah.
Now, explain to me in small picking terms, right? Like I'm a child who asked you, what is ATM card swap, or if it goes by any other name, how was this person able to do this?
All right. So what the attacker we normally do is to create a form of scenario that we kind of distract the target or the victim.
Okay.
And then from that distraction, the distraction is successful, they can find a way to exchange the card of the victim with a different card. So usually the victim would not notice because the card will be from the same bank. So if the target is using Zenith Bank, for instance, the attacker would hold a Zenith Bank ATM card. So find a way to distract that victim and then swap the card. So the important details in the card number, the CCV, as well as the expiry date, the attacker can then use those information to transfer money. So usually they may not be able to withdraw cash.
Okay.
So, but there are lots of phone applications and websites that allow you to purchase items online without the need to enter a PIN.
Oh.
So when those debit alerts starts coming in, usually it's not a question of the attacker or the evil person in quote withdrawing your money through the ATM. It could be they go online or an application and then they are shopping and getting stuff through your hard-earned money.
So the swap is an actual swap?
It's an actual swap, yes.
Okay, so the person, besides having the technical knowledge, must also know how to be a pickpocket.
Yeah, so it requires a lot of what we call social engineering skill.
My goodness.
So there are people that do these things, they are very social, as it were. It's a skill, it's a technique, it's a strategy, it's a weapon, a very powerful weapon they have under their bed. So if you are not focused, you are not concentrating on what you are doing, they can easily just create a distraction scenario, and then before you know it, you are holding a card that is not yours.
I've seen a lot of movies, and I'm sure you have as well, where they glorify pickpocket. It happens in a very fancy way. It's almost like you want to be a pickpocket, but in reality, I know it's not that easy.
Yes, it's
right?
not that easy.
To be able to take something off a person, for example, you have a wristwatch on.
Yeah.
Just like I do.
Yeah.
In those movies, the person comes around you and before you know, the watch is gone.
Yes.
I'm thinking of the difficulty in actually swapping, because the way you say it, getting information of the card is even the easiest part.
Yeah.
It is taking and exchanging the card that is difficult.
Yes.
So in this school of learning crime,
yes,
is there, again, I'm not saying that you're a criminal, but to be a hacker, you kind of have to know how it works.
Yeah.
Is there a training for the physical stealing and the swapping before you now get the technical training on how to get the information out of it?
Yes, there is training for everything. So you are not born with these gifts, basically. Nobody came into this world with this gift, basically. So you are trained. So the same way you go to a university, say you want to be a medical doctor, they train you, you know what to do, how to examine the human body and stuff like that. That is how this is like an area of specialization in quotes, where people are trained on the skills they need to possess to be able to carry out such kind of things. And those people, because they are trained for it, they are skilled. So they know how to create those scenarios, and in no time, your card is gone.
That's interesting.
Yes, sir.
Now, hacking.
Yes, sir.
Is unauthorized access. To a system.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And there was one small period in my life where I thought that, I wanted to try and...
Okay, sir.
Because I crazily studied computer science in school.
Okay.
And then they justify people like you with the tag ethical hacking.
Yes, sir.
So they call you ethical hackers, that you're doing it for good.
Yes.
How is a hacker ethical? Because I'm sitting across you now. This is what you do for. How is it that your job of gaining unauthorized access is for good?
Okay, let me break it this way. Cybersecurity, broadly speaking, is broken into two parts. So you have offensive security, you have defensive security.
Okay.
And that idea was gotten from the military. So usually in the military, soldiers are trained, and then usually in their training, they have a team that is defending. So the defending team is basically learn how to protect a territory from attack.
Okay.
While the offensive team is learning how to take over a territory. So in cybersecurity, that's the way it is classified. You have defensive, you have offensive. You cannot confidently say a system is secured unless it is tested.
Okay.
So you can install all your application, do all your defensive, but the true test of security is when that system is exposed to attacks. Can it stand its ground? And that's where offensive security comes in. That's where ethical hacker approach system the way the evil hackers would. So we want to cause damage to this. Why the ethical hacker is trying to expose vulnerabilities in those systems that can be used to compromise the system.
How are we sure that when the ethical hacker goes broke tomorrow, they won't turn rogue? Say, oh, I get this skill, but say I don't get them. And hunger, they blow me. So let me go from ethical to unethical.
Yeah, it's possible. There are some people that were ethical before because of maybe financial security, they move to the dark side of things.
Okay.
All right, but that's why it is ethical. When we say something is ethical, it means that it's according to the principles. So we learn the laws, we learn this important thing. That to use that skill to commit time than it is to learn skill.
Okay, so take level he's in that, or if next week he might turn ethical, please stay with us.
Thank you very much, sir.
So you put before with online or then what's your on those sites. Besides you that has this information, no one else can access that. So I mean, were they exacting all that
there is 100 pure. So the system may be deemed secure, but the system is there will always be a loophole. That's why you see most of the time we use applications, we have software, we have Facebook, our bank app. They roll out updates from time to time. Most of those updates is not mainly to just make those apps look beautiful. Many times they have security patches, so there are vulnerabilities. They are always trying to upgrade to the latest hacking techniques so that their application would be secure. Those latest technology will not be able to breach their system. So no matter how secure a system is, it can never be 100% secured. Every system has vulnerabilities that can be used to exploit it. So from time to time, we hear, for instance, that the Russians hacking the US and others. Is it that they are not investing in security or they are not investing enough? That's just a general rule. No matter how secure a system is, there must be something that can be used to compromise it.
So what's a good percentage? Since we can get 100, 92, 95, 90, what are we looking at? Because if I'm 98% secure and a hacker is able to use the 2%, then, I mean, there are problems.
Definitely.
So what's the percentage that keeps a person comfortable to say, you know what, to this extent, I know I'm good?
There is no percentage. No percentage is enough. So even 100, there's nothing like 100%. So long as it's not up to 100%, it's not enough. That's why security is not a destination, it's a journey. You keep going. Your system cannot be 100% secure, but you can continue to make effort to make sure that it is better.
Okay, so what must we do to protect ourselves? Because we all have bank accounts, we all have cards, we all transact, right? And our lives are literally tied to our monies.
Yeah.
So as an account holder, what should I do besides not disclosing my PIN to other people? Are there other measures that I need to take?
Okay, definitely. So first and foremost, one easy way through which you can lose your hard-earned money is that card in your hand. So that means you have to take that card seriously. So firstly, the card is a private property. So avoid exposing that card. So sometimes you see people in the office or in a public place, they can just take their card and put it on the table. That's very bad. That's very insecure. So don't do that. Don't expose your card. Make sure your card is private. Bring it out. Use it only when it is necessary. That's one. Two, if it's possible, use your card only when you have to. Like for some, they make it a habit. Anywhere they are going, they are always with their ATM card. Like for instance, the technologies used by hackers are getting more sophisticated by the day. For instance, even if you have your card, it's not exposed, you just have it to your wallet. Someone can just come and stand beside you in 10-15 seconds. He has retrieved all the information. It's
without the card being exposed?
Without it being exposed inside your wallet.
It's witchcraft, turned to witchcraft. Now it's no longer, it don't come out for waiting we know.
So is that bad? So the idea is use your card only when necessary. Don't make it a habit of anytime you are leaving your house, you're leaving your home, you always go with your card. Take it, use that card only when it is necessary. So the bank on their own part will try as much as they can, but there is a limit to what they can do. That's why each time you go to a bank, you say you want an ATM card, they give you that card along with a paper that has lots of tests. Read this, you see all the things that they are trying to enlighten you to do to make sure that that card is secure, given that it is one of the easiest ways through which you can lose your money. So don't expose your card. If possible, keep your cards indoors. Take them out only when necessary. When you know that you are going to use that particular day, then take it out.
But Caleb,
and sorry if I can add one more.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
When you are using ATM machines, you need to be cautious because we have physical security as well. So security also involves, there's this physical aspect to it. So when you go to public ATM machines that are not well protected, you need to be cautious because since it's not protected, there's no physical security, someone can just go there and install a device on that ATM. And anybody that comes and use that ATM automatically will retrieve using what we call card schemas. They are special machines. So we can just install it on those public ones there, and then through that means you can get the ATM cards of hundreds or even thousands of people.
Now, most people now don't use ATMs. They use POS.
Yeah.
POS are now, more popular because there's somebody very close to you who has... Are the POS stations and devices safer than the ATMs?
They are not. So even someone using a POS device, that card schemas I talked about earlier, someone can install it on the POS as well.
On their own POS?
Yeah. And so you can read and capture all your data on your card. And they can even design a device that looks like a POS, but it's not actually a POS. It's a card reader. So it's designed, besides carry out the normal functionality of a POS device, it's also designed to extract data from the card. So each time you slot in your card, it will extract all the data down to your PIN. So when using that card, you need to be cautious. So even if you are using a POS machine, you need to be cautious.
How can you be cautious in this regard, right? There are POS, I don't know if the word is correct. POS is everywhere, right? In front of your house, in front of your office, and we always need cash for something.
Definitely.
So how do you exercise caution when it comes to POS? Do you refuse to transact with them? Do you... Because you can't tell. So what do you do?
In that situation, there are several options that you can do. So make sure that whoever you are handling that card to, that your precious card to, even if the POS vendor or whatever it is, you need to be sure that thing, because sometimes there are more to things that meet the eyes.
Okay.
So you can see a device. The device can look like a POS machine, but it's a card reader. It's designed to read all the data in your card. So that's why you need to be cautious. So for instance, if you have a bank close by, and it's possible. We know that our bank these days, most of the time, there are no money in the machines and stuff. But if it's possible for you to walk into a bank to be 100% secure, you are sure that nothing will go wrong, do that. But if you decide, of course, as it would be in many instances, that you need to patronize an ATM machine, you need to be careful. So look at the person, observe the environment, know exactly what you are doing. Because like I said, card schemas can be installed on those ATM machines. They can design an ATM machine, a machine that looks like ATM machine, whereas it's not. Or may even carry out the normal functionality of the ATM, but it's extracting your data. And that is the crux of the matter. If a device is able to extract your data, your sensitive data, that means you are in problem. That puts you in trouble, because at the end of the day, you will just find yourself receiving debit alerts and you are wondering where are these things coming from.
So when we go to POS, do we insist on transfer instead of card? Because most times people want to withdraw.
Yeah.
So should I say, okay, no, don't worry about the card, I will transfer to you, just give me the cash?
The transfer is way more secure because you have control over that. So they are not reading any data from you. So if you can't transfer. So you can just set up a policy that if you are using a POS, it has to be transferred. When you go to the bank, then you can now go ahead and use your card.
All right, it's time for you to be a part of the conversation. Have you been a victim of a scam? If you have not, are you protecting yourself? How exactly are you keeping safe away from the lurking eyes of scammers? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can watch, listen, and drop your comments on those platforms. Please turn off your radio as you call. I have a message here on WhatsApp. Sadly enough, it's evil technological knowledge that's operational in this part of the world, Ogu Justice says on WhatsApp. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Ivan. I'm calling from Woji.
Go ahead, Divine.
Yeah, I have 4 policies.
Okay.
1, I use my ATM card only in POS with the person I know very well. Every other places I do transfer.
That's someone you can beat.
2, yes. 2, in shopping mall, where I know the supermarket very well, I use it there.
Okay.
And then lastly, I back in the car wash.
Okay.
So quickly, money that I do it on account. I left it 200 naira there, so let's go use the 200 naira.
When did you notice they had taken your card?
I noticed he entered and he was going to stop at the junction. Suddenly he came down, he was fidgeting, he just came down and ran across the road. Immediately I did transfer from another account.
Okay. All right, Thank Divine. You. Apparently, you are the new cybersecurity expert. You are protecting yourself more than is required. Okay, I'll be taking the next question. No loss again. Christian Williams says, well, I won't put it like that, but the idea is that we try to be safer. But yes, there is trouble. God's Time calls from Onelga. Hello, God's Time.
Good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
I just don't want to mention the bank, but I've been a victim. In the sense that I didn't even go out with my ATM card, I didn't send it to anywhere. Before you know, and it was at midnight. So it wasn't this, the technology wasn't this rampant. I just came back into the country. So after that moment, I discovered that my friends who we are there told me that don't do any transaction with your ATM card. Always do transfer. If they don't accept transfer, just forget it and go to the bank. So for the expert in the studio to have said so many things about it, and I recall the reason why I don't purchase anything with my ATM card. Any restaurant, any fast food, any supermarket and superstore I go into, I do transfer. Even the POS stand, I do transfer. So my advice, I want to ask him, what about those that are doing transfer? Are we the
I think I spoke on that. So what I said, if you are doing transfer, you have full control over that. So that cannot be used to compromise your account. That cannot be used to compromise your system. And in most bank apps, once you notice, always one of the things you can also do is always monitor the suspicious activity. Your banks now allow you to report immediately through the app, so you can send or start a live chat so they notify the bank and let what to.
I can't remember. I think it was sometime last year or 2 years ago, and this person is also supposed to be an expert. Do you agree?
To a large extent, yes. I think they are trying their best, but they are not. I don't think they are doing enough.
Okay. Patrick calls from HA. Hello, Patrick. Good evening.
Yeah.
Oh, apologies for that. Please call back if you can. The numbers are 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Watch, listen, and drop comments on those platforms. Please turn off your radio as you call. It's very important. Text on WhatsApp says, my account with ATM is only loaded when I want to withdraw. The SIM card that is USSD enabled has a SIM PIN code, and my small button phone has PIN codes to make calls, to view SMS, and to check dialed numbers and contacts. I have even scratched the serial numbers on the card and that 8-digit number on the back of the card. I thought I was safe until the expert said someone standing near us can extract our information. Okay, so we need better security. Hello, Sam. How about those people that will force money out from your card at gunpoint, mainly identified uniform men? What can be done in this case? I mean, this one don't pass cybersecurity. Now police. This one's go and enter, my brother. It's not cyber again, no. It's robbery. So either you run away or you comply. Or do you have answer for that?
I don't have answer for that. That's not security.
Okay. Ezenya Chima says, good evening. How do we handle those that do fake transfer? Thank you for this to people. I see this thing go either way. Yes. So I've heard of fake debit alert, or is it credit alert?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Let me just say as it is. For the fake debit alerts, for that I don't really know how they do that.
Okay.
So let me just tell you the way it is. So let me not say what I don't know. So I don't know how they do that, but I've had several instances of people complaining that they've had fake credit alert. So maybe someone comes and wants to patronize, say, let me transfer, and the transfer is a fake.
Yeah, fake
so
alert.
I've heard some stuff like that, but I've not really dig deep to go to find out how they are doing that.
Okay, Melody says the thieves entered our compound, stole the POS machine of my neighbor, but we have to log into his bank app via phone and transfer all the money in his account. Would the thief be able to steal the money in the account if we hadn't transferred the money?
Yeah, there was a chance they would have been able to steal the money from the account.
Just from the POS device?
Yes.
Okay. You were saying something? It's like you wanted to add something to that. Okay. Dear Oracle, the guy on the studio is spot on. I'm a banker with a lot of experience handling complaints of customers that have been defrauded. Amadi John, thank you very much. I mean, it's Nigerian info. We invite only the best. Of course, he has to be spot on. Okay. So, usually there are scams that are popular in different regions.
Yeah.
Right? I know that the guys in India, they are doing very well when it comes to these scams.
Yes.
Leave it to them. What is the popular scam in Nigeria? What's maybe the mainstream one, the one that's really big here?
In terms of, sorry, the question, I don't know if you can rephrase the question.
Okay, so some scams are popular based on region.
Yes.
Right? Maybe a scam that is big here might not be as big in the US or other regions.
Yes.
So what is the popular Nigerian scam that is our own thing because of our system?
The popular one is one of the one we are talking about today.
Okay.
So where people try to extract or get the information on your card. So one way or the other try to trick you. And another very popular one is social engineering, phishing attacks, where they call and pretend to be from your bank, and they tell that you have issues that for them to fix the issue they need your bank card,
your PIN.
So that one is very popular too. So you have to be cautious and wary. So each time, nobody, not even the bank, has the right or the other to call you and say, give me your PIN. So if you receive a call like that, don't ever. So even if the person insists that is the bank manager and is trying to provide proof that he's a bank manager, don't give him that PIN.
I think we've all received those kinds of calls.
Yeah, so it's very popular and still very much around.
I have as well. And I mean, I'm not knocking anybody, but it's crazy that people fall for it.
Yeah, people fall for it a lot. So that's why the business is still there. Because if people are not falling for it, by now it would have died. So people are still falling for it.
My final call is from Ken, who calls from LMA. Hello, Ken. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. You have just a minute. Please go ahead.
All right. Just want to narrate some of the experience I had in the bank a year ago.
Okay.
I was robbed, and then the guys took my card and then removed all the money in my account and left some. Because of the transfer limit, they couldn't finish everything. So I rushed to my bank. I don't want to mention the name of the bank. And then I complained to them, so they blocked my accounts, and what was left was supposed to be saved. Then 24 hours later, everything left the account. So I got back to the bank. I told them, I ran to you to save my account, and you assured me that everything was done to secure what was left. What now happened? So I took on the cashier or the customer care that helped me to do that. So I was asked to see the manager upstairs, and I told the manager invited the cashier and told her that, look, you are responsible for what was left the second time. But if I have my right, I can take the matter I can take her to court and have her disengaged. But I just took mercy on her because I felt that this second missing was not from the criminals; it was from the cashier herself. I knew that she must have been a breadwinner in her home, and then I don't want to lose her job, so I just let everything go. And I learned my lesson from today.
Okay.
So, with the guests in the studio, what do you think went wrong after I reported the matter to the appropriate authority and I still suffered loss the second time? Please, I want an explanation. Thank you.
Okay, well, we don't have time, but if you can, very quickly, in a couple of seconds.
Okay, so in that scenario, it's more or less what the manager told you himself. So it's an insider thing, because if you are asked to freeze that, to block that account, and it was done appropriately the way it should be done, then it would be practically impossible for that transfer to have been done. That's why I said it's an insider thing. And what I think you should have done, which you said you showed mercy, that was your decision. It's not a bad decision.
You have taken it up.
So you should have taken it up if you wanted your money back, and you'd have gotten your money back.
All right. Thank you very much, Caleb, for making the time. Any final words? Any last thing you want to leave with us? What we should do moving forward?
Thank you very much, sir. So what I will leave with you is, it's rough out there. You need to be cautious. Stay safe.
I didn't see that coming. So it's rough out there.
It's rough out there. So you have to stay still. You have to be conscious of whatever it is you are doing, particularly if it has to do with your card. Just stay safe out there because it's quite rough.
Thank you very much, Caleb. Caleb is a cybersecurity expert at Webcaps Technologies. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you very much for having me, sir.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, sir.